Hello, Golden State Warriors fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. The rumors started the way these things always do in this league, with a whisper that suddenly became a roar, and now everybody around the basketball world is holding their breath. People close to the Golden State Warriors are saying that a surprising trade has been quietly closed, one that could completely flip the narrative of the entire season and send shockwaves through locker rooms everywhere. The name at the center of this storm is Kevin Durant, and just hearing that connection again already feels unreal to so many fans. This is not being treated as a confirmed announcement, but as one of those explosive rumors that insiders love to hint at without fully revealing their cards. The idea of Durant returning to the Warriors brings back memories, emotions, and debates that never really went away. According to the speculation, the front office saw a narrow window and moved with surgical precision, believing that the current core still had championship energy if paired with the right superstar. People are saying this move was discussed in total secrecy, with only a few executives aware of the final steps. If true, this would not be just another trade, but a statement to the entire league that Golden State refuses to fade quietly and is willing to gamble everything on one bold swing. What makes this rumor even more fascinating is how unexpected the timing feels to everyone watching from the outside. The Warriors were not being publicly linked to Durant in recent conversations, which is exactly why this speculation feels so explosive. Sources close to the situation suggest that conversations heated up behind closed doors after internal evaluations showed that the current roster, while competitive, needed an offensive force capable of bending defenses in ways very few players can. Durant's name apparently kept coming up, not as nostalgia, but as a cold, calculated solution. The whispers say the Warriors believe his skill set ages gracefully, relying more on length, touch, and intelligence than pure athleticism. This makes the idea of bringing him back feel less like a reunion tour and more like a strategic masterstroke. Fans are already debating how the salary puzzle could have been solved, with talk of multiple assets and long-term flexibility being sacrificed. Even so, the front office is rumored to feel that banners matter more than balance sheets. In this narrative, Durant is not just a star, but the final piece of a puzzle that management believes was never truly finished. The emotional side of this possible move cannot be ignored, and that is where the rumor truly catches fire. Kevin Durant's previous exit from Golden State was filled with tension, misunderstandings, and narratives that followed him for years. Bringing him back would require more than contracts and approvals. It would demand healed relationships and a shared vision. Insiders suggest that quiet conversations happen long before any trade framework, focused on trust, respect, and clarity of roles. The Warriors are rumored to have promised a different environment, one where Durant's voice carries weight and his legacy is embraced rather than debated. For Durant, the speculation says the appeal lies in unfinished business and the chance to rewrite the final chapter of his story in that uniform. This is not being framed as a rescue mission, but as a mutual alignment of ambition. The idea of him walking back into that locker room, seeing familiar faces, and redefining the narrative is powerful enough to dominate every basketball conversation right now. From a purely basketball perspective, the rumor sparks endless analysis about fit and impact. The Warriors' system has always thrived on movement, spacing, and decision-making, and Durant is considered one of the most adaptable superstars ever. Speculation points to coaches believing that his presence would immediately simplify the game for everyone else, forcing defenses into impossible choices. The gravity he brings is not just about scoring, but about how it unlocks shooters and cutters in ways few players can. People around the team are rumored to be excited about the versatility this creates, allowing lineups that can switch everything on defense while maintaining elite scoring on offense. Critics argue that revisiting an old formula might ignore the evolution of the league, but supporters counter that talent at Durant's level transcends eras and trends. The Warriors are said to believe that pairing his calm, methodical dominance with their fast-paced style could create a balance that opponents struggle to prepare for. Even as a rumor, the basketball implications alone are enough to make this feel like a seismic moment. Of course, no massive trade rumor comes without questions, and this one is loaded with them. There is constant chatter about the physical demands of the season and how Durant's body would hold up under the spotlight of such expectations. People speculate about minute management, rest strategies, and how the coaching staff would navigate the balance between pushing for dominance and protecting their star. There are also whispers about how younger players might feel being moved or seeing their roles shrink overnight. Yet those close to the Warriors suggest that the culture is built on winning above all else, and that sacrifices are part of the identity. The front office is rumored to have weighed every risk and decided that the upside simply outweighs the fear. In this narrative, hesitation was never an option, because opportunities to acquire a player of Durant's caliber rarely present themselves in such a clean, decisive way. As the rumor continues to spread, the reaction around the league has been described as a mix of disbelief and admiration. Rival executives are said to be scrambling, trying to understand how the Warriors could pull off such a move without tipping their hand. Players on other teams are reportedly talking privately, wondering how this shifts the balance of power and what it means for their own ambitions. Fans are split between excitement and skepticism, but one thing is clear: everyone is paying attention. The idea that Golden State could once again position itself at the center of the basketball universe is enough to dominate headlines and conversations. Even without official confirmation, this speculation has already achieved something powerful, reminding the world that the Warriors remain aggressive, creative, and unafraid of controversy. If this rumor turns into reality, it will not just change a season, it will redefine expectations across the league. Looking ahead, the possible consequences of this rumored trade stretch far beyond the immediate buzz. Analysts are already speculating about how this move would influence the mental landscape of the Warriors themselves. Bringing back Kevin Durant could inject a renewed sense of urgency and belief, especially among veterans who understand how fleeting championship windows can be. The speculation suggests that the locker room would quickly rally around a shared mission, fueled by the knowledge that management went all in. This kind of move sends a message that complacency is unacceptable and that every possession matters. For younger players, the opportunity to learn from a player of Durant's stature could be transformative, even if it means fewer minutes. The Warriors are rumored to believe that the culture of excellence is reinforced when superstars set the standard daily. In this version of events, Durant is not just a scorer, but a tone setter whose professionalism elevates practices, film sessions, and preparation. The psychological boost alone is being described as worth the risk, creating an environment where confidence replaces doubt. From a strategic standpoint, the ripple effects across the league could be enormous if this speculation proves true. Opposing teams would be forced to rethink matchups, rotations, and even roster construction. Coaches are said to fear the unique problems that a Warriors team with Durant creates, because traditional defensive schemes often fail against that level of skill and experience. The rumor mill suggests that some franchises might accelerate their own plans, chasing trades or adjustments just to keep pace. This kind of arms race is exactly what makes such moves legendary, not just for what happens on the court, but for how they shape the entire competitive ecosystem. The Warriors, according to speculation, are fully aware of this and embrace the chaos. They see it as a return to a familiar role, being the team everyone measures themselves against. Durant's presence would symbolize that return, turning every game into a high-pressure test for opponents. Another layer of this rumor revolves around legacy, both for the franchise and for Durant himself. There is a strong belief among insiders that this move is about controlling the narrative as much as winning games. For the Warriors, reuniting with Durant would reinforce their image as a destination where greatness is not only welcomed, but maximized. For Durant, it offers a chance to silence lingering debates about his career choices and motivations. The speculation frames this as a mutual redemption arc, where both sides acknowledge past tensions and choose growth over pride. This narrative is powerful especially in a league driven by stories as much as statistics. Fans are already imagining how history books might frame this chapter if it ends the right way. The idea of rewriting legacy is a powerful motivator, and those close to the situation suggest it played a major role in the discussions. Still, the rumor is not without its skeptics, and their concerns add another layer of intrigue. Some argue that revisiting past partnerships can reopen old wounds, especially under the pressure of modern expectations. There are whispers about whether chemistry can truly be recreated or if time has changed priorities and personalities too much. Others question whether the Warriors might be sacrificing future flexibility for a short-term surge. Yet the counterargument, repeated by those close to the team, is that windows are meant to be attacked, not admired from a distance. The Warriors are rumored to believe that calculated risk is part of their identity, and that playing it safe has never been their style. In this framing, fear of failure is seen as a greater enemy than the possibility of regret. The fan reaction, even at the rumor stage, has been nothing short of electric. Social media conversations are described as chaotic, emotional, and deeply divided, with excitement often overpowering caution. Longtime supporters talk about reliving iconic moments, while newer fans dream of witnessing greatness firsthand. There's a sense that something big is happening, even if details remain deliberately vague. This emotional surge is part of what makes rumors like this so powerful, because they reconnect fans to hope and imagination. The Warriors organization is said to understand this energy and appreciate its value, knowing that belief can be as important as talent. Durant's name alone carries enough weight to reignite passion and curiosity across the fan base. As this speculation continues to dominate conversations, one thing feels undeniable. The Warriors have once again positioned themselves at the center of the basketball universe, even before any official word. The possibility of Kevin Durant returning is more than a roster move. It is a statement of intent, ambition, and belief. Whether this rumor becomes reality or remains a legendary what if, its impact is already being felt. The league is watching, fans are dreaming, and the Warriors are being talked about as if they have already changed everything. And sometimes, in this game, the belief that you are dangerous is almost as powerful as being dangerous itself. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. As the rumor refuses to cool down, another layer of intrigue begins to surface around how this potential reunion would reshape the internal hierarchy of the Warriors. People close to the organization whisper that leadership roles would subtly evolve, not through conflict, but through mutual understanding built over years of experience. The speculation suggests that veterans on the roster are already mentally adjusting to the idea of sharing responsibility in new ways, recognizing that Durant's presence naturally commands attention without demanding it. This is being framed not as a power struggle, but as a convergence of elite minds aligned by a single obsession, winning at the highest level. The Warriors are rumored to believe that maturity is their greatest advantage now, allowing egos to take a back seat to execution. In this narrative, Durant's calm demeanor and methodical approach would complement the existing emotional fire, creating a balance that few teams can replicate. The locker room, according to whispers, would become quieter but sharper, less about speeches and more about standards. This subtle shift is seen as crucial for navigating the long grind of the season, where focus often matters more than raw energy. Another fascinating angle of this speculation centers on how the broader basketball world might reinterpret the Warriors' philosophy if this move becomes real. For years, they have been viewed as innovators who changed the game with spacing and shooting, but this rumored trade hints at something deeper: adaptability. Insiders suggest the franchise wants to prove it can evolve without abandoning its core identity. Bringing back Durant is seen as an acknowledgement that greatness is not static and that the smartest organizations revisit old ideas through a new lens. The Warriors are rumored to see this not as a step backward, but as a refined version of who they have become. This perspective challenges the league's obsession with constant novelty, suggesting that sometimes the boldest move is trusting proven excellence. Opponents, according to speculation, are uneasy not just because of Durant's talent, but because of what this says about Golden State's confidence. It implies a franchise comfortable enough with its legacy to reshape it without fear. Finally, there's a growing sense that this rumor, whether confirmed or not, has already achieved a psychological victory for the Warriors. The constant discussion, debate, and anticipation have shifted attention and pressure across the league. Teams that once felt secure now feel watched, measured against a hypothetical standard that includes Durant in a Warriors uniform once again. This mental edge is something Golden State is rumored to understand deeply, having experienced how narrative can influence momentum. Fans are not just imagining wins, but envisioning moments, storylines, and iconic images that feel larger than a single season. Durant's possible return has become a symbol of unfinished business and relentless ambition. Even in uncertainty, the Warriors are being talked about as inevitable, dangerous, and bold. And in a league driven by confidence and belief, that perception alone can change how games are played long before the ball is even in the air. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.